Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rise Up channel. I am the RB3,
I'm Grizz.
I'm Wolfcross.
and I'm pretty sure anybody that is in tech or gaming in the last week has seen that there's some more big news. Obviously, everybody heard about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard and what is to come with that, and a lot of drama. Well, Sony decided to throw it down on the table, and Sony is officially partnering with Bungie. Let's get into it. So, with the deal, obviously everybody knows Bungie, the creators of Halo. They've since drifted away from that and they're on Destiny. Um Recently, they actually put out a Destiny 2 shared vision infographic, if you will, with three key points. First key point is one community multi-platform. Destiny will stay on all current platforms and expand to new platforms, which that kind of got me excited because what's the new platform? Self-published and creatively independent. Bungie maintains full creative control and publishing independence of the Destiny universe. I have one little issue with that. And then 3, same game everywhere. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience no matter where you choose to play. Agreed. My caveat is Bungie maintains full creative control and publishing independence of the Destiny universe. That does not include future IPs. So, how do we feel about that, guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works because obviously the first one we heard about was, the Microsoft buying like everything for a very hefty amount of money.
A lot, yeah.
And I like from what I've heard, which we don't know, I don't know anything about the business side of these kind of things, but that I don't like, was that years in the work or was that like a recent thing, that they decided to do and it come about because they said it was announced, but then they was like, we're waiting for it to close and yada yada yada. And then it's like what, the next week or so, it's like, oh, Sony buys Bungie. So it's like, did Sony buy Bungie like kind of in retaliation or like oh crap, we need to do something to still compete with Microsoft?
No,
Because
no, this been talk for your if not a year, definitely months. Um, this has been confirmed by both of the heads for the Bungie and Sony. It wasn't retaliation or anything like that. Like, because it was literally like what, 4 days apart. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's just how it seemed to people without knowing that kind of stuff. Though, it
Yeah.
seemed like Microsoft bought everything, so now Sony bought Bungie. It's like they had to do something. But I think from what I've heard since, like both of these announcements, is it's like these things are like have been in the works for a while. It wasn't like a retaliation thing or like a they're trying to compete somehow. I mean, obviously they do compete in a sense, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I just think most people that aren't maybe well versed or look into the stuff might have just thought it was a retaliation type thing, even though they've both been in the works on their own for who knows how long.
Yeah, the biggest thing I'm seeing is that like Wolf said, the heads of the studios came out, and I think it was the head of Sony said that they were in talks for I think between 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Like beforehand. And I think the one thing people are really keying in on is the price tag that they bought them for. And I think I actually asked this question in Discord, but I'm like, is the reason the price tag was different is because of the amount of IPs that company currently supports, whereas Activision has everything that
Tons.
Activision, King, and Blizzard has, whereas Bungie has Destiny. And I was like, if Bungie say had Halo still, would that price tag have been way bigger? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure, especially with the recent like kind of blow up of Halo Infinite. Even though I don't know, I've seen some things. I haven't actually played it for a while, even though I love the game. Just because I've heard that they're having an issue with hacking, which is what's been the downfall of other games. So I don't know, how actively they're working towards all of that stuff, but I think the game, from what I can tell, is still pretty popular among a lot of people, and they're changing their pricing. People felt their pricing was asking like too much and stuff for microtransactions. So it's like they're trying to do all this stuff. So I think that if Bungie would have still had Halo, I think it would have been at least maybe another million or so higher. I feel like it would have been higher for sure. but I mean they have what, but Destiny, and that's pretty much it. They're trying to keep that alive, and then
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere where they're wanting to, like you said, they're keeping their independence and their own like creative freedom and stuff. But I think I saw somewhere where they have another IP in talks and in the works with Sony and stuff, but they're keeping their independence still.
Yeah.
I don't know what all of that means. I feel like it kind of, to me, I know you kind of said that you don't like that part of it, but which I'm interested to hear why. Because to me, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. They get to keep their independence, their own creative freedom. Like just because Sony bought them, they're not gonna like come in and change everything, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, Bungie has made some incredible stuff. So
Yeah. I think the thing that stuck with me is just it's Bungie would go against, I mean, basically Xbox, and I personally I feel Xbox is kind of what bolstered Bungie through Halo. But what people are saying is this is probably going to be very similar to the Tencent buyout, where Sony will remain 100% hands off on all creative projects. The reason I said I took issue with the wording is because they said nothing will change in the Destiny universe, which means how will that impact future IPs? You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing that there was actually a Q&A about this too, because that's a lot of the worries were coming from that as well, where like a lot of the questions were like, okay, what about Destiny? And then they were like, Destiny's gonna be okay. What about future IPs? It's like, look, they're independent. And then with that as well, like Sony announced that they'll be more friendly to other platforms. That's like literally one of the first thing they mention is like, welcome to the family. And with this announcement, it's I don't know who said it exactly. I'm gonna have to look at Twitter, but they literally said this is the beginning of us being more friendly and open to other platforms. Now, because Xbox wasn't specifically mentioned, everybody was like, they probably just mean PC. But I'm pretty sure with them specifically saying, and like, Bungie's going to be independent, they can release on whatever they want. I'm pretty sure it doesn't just mean PC. I'm pretty like, why would they know they have the roots on Xbox. Why would they shun away from their OG fan base, basically?
They can't just nix them out of the entire equation.
Exactly.
And I was
That
actually
would hurt them more than anything. So
I was reading a breakdown of like where the revenue was going for the acquisition. So they spent 3.6 billion. They said roughly 20% of it's allocated 3-year investment spending to buy Bungie. But I was actually seeing something recently that around 1 billion of it is going to the employees to keep people on that were possibly basically to bolster their own creative teams and keep Bungie kind of going full tilt. Which is a good thing.
It said out of that money, what was it, 3.6 billion or something for the deal, and I think I saw that too, where it said like 1.2 was literally just to keep the employees around. Which that's a big chunk of money. It's almost half of what they got, what they got bought out for. So they're definitely invested in their team.
Yeah. Which is good in general, and kind of like Wolf said. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Them being open to more cross-platform stuff, because like we said in one of our previous videos. By the way, you guys should go check that out. In one of our previous videos, we talked about how like we're both huge proponent, like all of us are proponents of just universal crossplay. Like I don't know if anybody's ever seen Ready Player One, just giant universe games. Now, granted, you still have to have exclusives to sell consoles, which is understandable from a business standpoint. But the more we move towards just crossplay and you can play on whatever platform you want, I feel like that's a positive thing.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so Bungie stays independent. They can release whatever they want, right? So it's like I feel like it's a huge win for Bungie because now they have the support from Sony. Now they got like what 1 billion just for the employees, like you guys said. So I saw a lot of like Twitter, like a lot of the employees from Bungie were super happy. But I guess this is a question for you guys because I think I know where where I'm headed with this, but like, what does Sony gain from buying Bungie then? Because uh, the Halo doesn't come with it. We know that for sure. It's only Destiny, and I know a lot of Destiny fans haven't been happy with the game recently. But what does Sony gain from this? Right?
Kind of what I was wondering.
Besides,
sorry, go ahead.
like, because like Microsoft bought Mixer
Yeah.
for its technology. It didn't buy Mixer for what Mixer could do. So,
Yeah.
so a lot of the stuff they were saying, and Sony is investing in Bungie for their technology and live services. Because if you think about it, Sony does not have live services,
No, I don't think.
and also because Sony likes to do movies, so they were thinking Destiny movie, maybe live action something. But I
Didn't
mean,
they come
what
out
else
with
do you
a?
think is in there?
That could make sense because didn't Halo announce? I think I don't
Oh,
know
it's
if it's
already out
started
on
yet or
Paramount.
not, but
I think
yeah,
episode one's out.
that's what I thought. I thought I saw something about it
Halo.
the other day. They did a live action Halo, so it's
Yeah.
like they could do something like that. I don't think I don't think anything's off the table at this point. I mean, we
Honestly,
see
yeah.
wild stuff all the time. I mean, look, they literally turned the Uncharted series into now it's a movie coming out this month or in March or something,
Oh,
sometime
yeah.
soon.
Mhm.
So I don't think anything's off the table anymore. I think they've realized they can't just do you don't have the console wars anymore. You just don't. I mean, people like to bring it up, but I just don't think you have that anymore because really of there's not a lot of exclusive anymore. I mean, you had Halo, which now, the new Halo came out on everything. Or well,
Mhm.
not it didn't come out on PlayStation, right? But
Yeah.
PC players, which is where a lot of players have moved, to like, as they've gotten older or whatever, people tend to gravitate more towards PC. But I mean, you just don't have I don't think they have that to just compete with themselves anymore. So I think doing things like this where it opens up all those other possibilities is how they're going to stay like relevant and keep the company, it's
Yeah.
going to branch out more.
Because a lot of speculation I was seeing is that they're thinking this was not a publicity stunt. I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Basically, it gets them more exposure to a broader fan base, is what they were thinking. And
Yeah.
nobody really knows what Bungie has in the works because the last time they had a new IP was Destiny and then Destiny 2. So they really haven't, announced or hinted at anything in recent memory. So who knows what they have like cooking up. So that could
Yeah.
be something big. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of Sony Entertainment, you're absolutely right. Like Uncharted. So who's to say we won't get, a Destiny show because that universe is so in depth and there's so much to pull from that I feel like it could be very, very easy to do.
So much just between the first Destiny and the second Destiny and all of the expansions for both games, like
Mm-hmm.
that is a lot of storylines there.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and I don't know about what you guys think personally, but I think mini series, like little TV shows that you can find on Netflix or whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
think anymore those do a lot better than movies because you see a
Oh yeah.
lot of stuff. It's like instead of making, a 2 hour long movie or whatever, you see a show comes out and it's like 8 episodes of X amount of minutes, and it's essentially a movie that you don't have to watch in one sitting, and
Yeah,
it's
there's
available
there's no way you're
everywhere.
gonna fit Destiny lore in a freaking movie. There's like no
No,
no way. And
it'd
there's
have to be
definitely
so many movies.
yeah, there's definitely a lot. I feel like because I watched those Destiny 2 or well Destiny in general lore videos and I'm like, oh my god, this would totally make a badass TV series. And I'll say TV series because I would not want this in the movie. There's a reason. There's a reason. Like I don't know if you guys remember Dune, the old one.
Yeah.
That was the one of the main issues that they're saying that the Dune, the old movie, didn't do it justice, is because there's just too much lore for one movie. for one sit down.
Mhm.
And it has to be a TV series in order to explore everything. Otherwise, people are just going to be lost. There's going to be a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff that's going to go unexplained. They have to cut out because it's a movie.
Yeah.
That's the limitations of a movie. So, I
Yeah.
mean, if you had to pick, RB, I know you're the Destiny and Halo guy. Would you prefer Halo TV series lore or the Destiny lore to go into a movie? I mean,
Ooh,
sorry, TV series.
that's
Because I
tough.
personally, I would pick Destiny, like because I know a little bit of the lore, and I know when I looked at the Destiny lore, I was like, oh my god. Whereas Halo was more like, yeah, okay, I see they could do one, but like the lore for Destiny is just so much richer.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I love both games as well. I think I would choose Destiny as well because I love Halo, but like you said, the all the lore and everything behind like not just the main storyline itself, but the backstories that you get from each individual like main
Yes.
character that comes
Yeah.
about too, and what they've been through essentially to get to the point of like where you know them present time. It's like there's so much there to explore.
I'm friends with some pretty avid Halo fans, so I might get some hate for this. But I feel like Halo to me makes more sense if you were to take like each section of the games, make them into a movie. So like you had like a Fall of Reach movie, and then you had Combat Evolved 1, 2, yada yada yada. Like each game could very feasibly be a movie. In terms of Destiny, the lore is so much more in depth, and there's so many more aspects to it that I would have to go. I think I would rather see Destiny because not only do you have the main subset of lore, you have lore for the major characters of each different, race, faction, the different, wars, battles, things that occurred. You have wars that occurred that created the leaders of, some of the alien races.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think I would have to go with you guys on definitely Destiny.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be so much more immersive, and plus you could essentially, if it did well, you could drag it out for so much longer than I feel like you could have Halo. Like you could have a lot of success with that because of
Mhm.
all of the lores and backstories, everything like that. You just have so much that could be explored there. I mean, that's like several seasons worth of, like if you did put that in a miniseries, that's like several seasons of shows
Yeah, because if you
or
did it
episodes.
properly, like I'm a big Star Wars guy. Um, I love The Mandalorian, and I'm absolutely hooked on the Book of Boba Fett, especially after last episode. Uh,
I haven't started it yet.
something in the vein of that would be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with things like that. And now, like you said, that's one of the things that I was going to bring up is I feel like it doesn't necessarily help Sony as much in a sense if you just look at what Bungie has to offer as far as right now it's Destiny 2 and that's
Mhm.
it. But I feel like it helps Bungie because now they have all this extra funding, the backing, and everything to where they can. I feel like they can do a lot more again, maybe
Mhm.
with being part of Sony, because like you said, that Microsoft bought them how many years ago was it? And that's essentially what they did. Like two or three Halo games under Microsoft, and
Yeah.
then because I know they did ODST and Reach.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Reach,
Halo 3, right?
yeah, Reach was the last one under
Yeah,
Microsoft, and that's
yeah.
when 343 took over.
I think 3 was the kickoff when they got bought out by Microsoft. Then they did ODST, and then Reach. I think was the order. Reach was the last one they did, and then
Yeah.
Microsoft also helped them kick off the Destiny games. So now you kind of have all of that has now shifted under Sony, and now they're who knows what they're going to cook up next. Destiny I think has been a great game.
Mhm.
I don't play it as much as I used to, but I mean I still enjoy the game if I do play it. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what they cook up next.
as an active Destiny player, I am excited about it. And I don't know why this kind of popped into my head, but it almost seems like from a Bungie standpoint, it's like a help me help you, where Bungie was
Yep,
like, you give us the funding, we'll give you something good.
exactly.
And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. But like Wolf said a little bit ago, Who knows what they're, what tech they're working on, what they have. Maybe there's something in development that can revolutionize those. Or what even they're working on that they haven't even mentioned yet. So
Yeah.
that's left to be seen.
Yeah, I think you're right with the help me help you thing. And especially if they're going to leave it open to them where it can go cross platform, because if you get that out on, you get it out on PlayStation, you get it out on Xbox, and you get it out on PC, I would imagine Sony originally has they would have the initial rights to whatever they produce, in a sense, like where they, even though people are buying it and if there's microtransactions, whatever, people are doing all this on Xbox and PC, I'm sure they still get the majority of the kickback. So it is like a help me help you. They come up with something amazing across all platforms, and that helps Sony compete with Microsoft and all these, like now Activision, Blizzard, all of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. With that being said, any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm just excited for the future. Definitely excited for a Destiny TV series.
Yeah,
really
sure.
hoping that happens now. Now that we talked about it, I'm just like, please, please, please.
And if they haven't thought about it, hit us up.
I want to see I really want to see live action Hive. That'd be insane.
Oh, dude. Yeah, a show would be a live action show with all of Destiny stuff would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below what you think about the acquisition, the rights. What do you think is going to happen with the game? And until next time, I've been the RB3.
Grizz.
See you guys.
We're out.
Peace.